time for some side splits and hip mobility. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through a little bit more fun, so that's easier to stay consistent with. We're going to get ready with a little bit of warm up because I don't expect you to come in here with any preparation because we do it all here. All right. And what we're going to do first is hip cars. Hip cars look a little bit like this. We're going to lift our knees up as high as we can, directly in front. Lift, 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 lift some more. Lift, keep lifting, lift harder. And once you've lifted as high as you can, directly up, we're going to open up that leg over to the side. All right. I want you to really contract the muscles in the back of your hips, in your butt, to bring that knee as far that way as you can. All right. From here, we're going to rotate the leg. We're going to bring the ankle up. We're going to bring the knee down. We're gonna keep going. Bring the knee down, bring the knee down, bring the knee down, bring the knee down, bring the knee down. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Feel that cramp starting to build in your hamstrings, and we're gonna bring that leg down and back. When we bring the leg down and back, we're gonna flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch right here in the front. That is 1 rep. We're doing 10 on the left side. We're doing 10 on the right side. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 2. Remember, the goal here is to contract your muscles as hard as you can to bring your legs into the deepest, most crazy movement that you can. That's 3. High knee. Open. Whew, lost balance. Ankle up, down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 5. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 6. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 7. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 8. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. And that's 10. Take a second. Shake out your legs. Shake out your arms. Shake out your hips. Shake out your feet. And let's continue on the other side. All right. All your weight in one leg. Core tight. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 2. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 3. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 5. Somebody is liking the live a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Down and back. That's 6, I think. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 7. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 8. High knee. Lift as high as you can. Open as wide as you can. Rotate as deep as you can. Bring that leg down and back. That's 9. 1 more. High knee. Breathe. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew. If your legs are tired, if your hips are tired, if your calves down to your feet are tired because they're trying to stabilize you, keep you straight, upright, that's all right. It's normal. All right. Oh, hip cars do much more than just work the muscles here in the hip where you're lifting the leg. They require a lot of stability in the hip and the other leg that's keeping balance. All right. We're going to move on into some reverse hip cars and go in the opposite direction. And it looks a little bit like this. We are bringing this leg down and back, flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, feeling the stretch right here in the front. We're lifting that leg up to the side. From the front, it's going to look like, pow, we're going to kick somebody. But in reality, we're probably not lifting it that high. From here, we're going to try our best to lift that knee up, 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 up. Then we're going to rotate the knee down, ankle up, ankle down, knee up, and then bring the knee forward. That is 1 rep. We're doing 10 on the left, 10 on the right, and we're going to wrap up our first warm-up exercise, all right? Take a breath, and let's begin. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Keep going. Try to contract your muscles, lift and rotate deeper. Contract those muscles. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Keep going. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 7. Keep going. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 9. Last 1. Back, side. Really lift, Really focus on rotating. That's 10. Ho, ho, ho. We got one final leg to do. I'm sweating. My glasses are falling off my face. Don't worry about those details. Just focus on contracting your leg muscles, all right? Let's go. Final leg. Let's do it. Contract the core, stabilize, back, side, lift high, contract those muscles right here. Rotate the leg, bring the knee down, lift the ankle up, feel the contraction in your hamstrings. Do the opposite, lift the knee up, ankle down, knee forward. That's one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's four. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's five. Five more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's six. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's seven. Three more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Whew, that is 10 hip curls going forward, back on each leg. That is our first warm-up exercise. We're going to move right on into warm-up exercise number 2. All right? It's called the elephant walk. What we're going to do is we're going to fold at the hips. We're going to bring the belly button down into the ground. You're going to feel a stretch in your hamstrings. If your back has been tight, you've been sitting a little bit today, it might be a little tense right here. Just chill, breathe for a second, inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper into your stretch. We're going to move. Bend one leg, straighten the other, fold your belly button down a little bit more. All right, just try your best to bring your belly button down to the ground. I'm not saying your head to the ground, I'm not saying your chest to the ground, I'm saying your belly button to the ground. All right, from here, we're going to switch back and forth, the leg that's bent and the leg that's straight. Switch. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Switch again, and 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 switch again. Oh, man. All right, as you're feeling your hamstrings get into a deeper and deeper stretch as you go, I'm going to tell you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m., starting, like 10 minutes ago. And we do this every day to practice consistency. All right, it's the number one most important skill. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you can't follow it, it's not really the best plan for you. So, I hope if you like hip mobility, if you like side splits, you like a little bit of extra motivation to do whatever this is, elephant walks. You hit follow, you hit subscribe, you keep on coming back because we're live every single day. All right, 9 p.m. Eastern. We started 10 minutes ago. Set a calendar, set an alarm, and now that you've done all those cool things, let's move on. Let's get into a slightly deeper stretch. Focus on your belly button again. Bring it down a little lower. Bring it down a little bit lower. Bring it down a little bit lower. And we're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into squat. Come on back up into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. I'm feeling like these lights are a little dim. I'm going to double check to make sure they're turned on to full brightness. And they are. All right. We're going to move on into our third warm-up exercise. It is called thoracic rotation. We are going to get into the same position we were just in, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight. We're folding our belly button down. All right. From here, I want you to extend your bent arm from the bent leg side. I want to reach across to that straight leg. I want you to push off that shin bone, and I want you to help rotate your torso, rotate your spine. All right. Extend your other arm up into the air. Rotate your neck to look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach over your shoulder, and that is half a rep. We're going to do the other side. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. We're folding forward, taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing, opening, rotating. Look at the hand with your head, and rotate that neck. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That is 1. We're doing 5 of these, so we got 4 more. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. And other side. Exhale. That's 2 again. 3. Let's do it. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 3. Other side. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 3 done. 4 and 5. Let's crush them. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 4 and 4. Whew. Fifth and final time, we're going to cover it from the top. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. We're going to fold our belly buttons down towards the ground. We're going to take the arm where the leg is bent, right? That side of the body. We're going to reach across to put that wrist, that hand on the shin bone. We're going to push off that shin bone, rotate back, extend our other arm up, look at the hand, rotate the neck, inhale. Exhale, reach for number 5. Whew. And number 5 on the other side, inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo, that is some thoracic rotation. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a little bit looser. You can get a little bit more movement out of it. Do a little shake, do a little wiggle, flop, 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 in. We're going to get into our fourth and final warm-up exercise. It is called the Cossack switch. All right, we're doing 10 reps of these, and they look a little bit like this. We're going to try to squat down on one side and come on down as low as we can. If you've been here for a while, you're a regular, or you got great mobility, you want to come a little lower, all right? Quite a lot lower, low to the ground. If you're just starting, you might want to get to right here, maybe a little bit lower, all right? Wherever it is that you are, our next step is to move our hips that away, all right? So if you're a little bit higher off the ground, you might be able to go boom with some pizzazz, with some finesse, and bring your hips over to the other side. If you're a little bit lower to the ground, you're like, oh man, I'm supposed to move from here? That's crazy. You can put your hands down for a little bit of support. You can help spot yourself as you walk your legs over to the other side. And once you are here, we're done half a reps. Come on back. Keep on walking yourself back on over. And that is 1. All right. Let's keep going. We're doing 10 of these. That's 1.5. And now we're at 2. Keep going. If you realize you can do this without using your hands, feel free to continue without your hands. If you still need your hands, feel free to continue with your hands. Once you've done a couple and you want to go up a little bit more in terms of difficulty, try to sit up a little straighter. All right? Chest up, head up. Stick your arms out in front of you to counterbalance and keep going. Across and back. That's 5. Keep going. Across. Sink into it and back. That's 6. Again, if you're newer to the show, yours might look a little bit like this. All right? You don't have to be nearly as down to the ground as I am. Work on your best, your lowest version. All right? Oh, I think that's like 7. We're going to count one of those. I think we got 3 more. If you're feeling a little bit of intensity in the inside of the knee, you're like, ooh, I don't like this, you can come up a little bit. All right? Up is relative to wherever you're at. Once you're over, try to scoot on over. Pause, sink a little deeper into your stretch. Then come on up again, slide over, and then come on back down. That's 8. Feel free to do as many of these as you want. Our goal is to work on that stretch, strengthen our leg muscles as we come across, and once you've done that one, we'll be at 9. Let's finish this up with some squats. All right? I want you to power through on this leg. I want you to go, oh! Come on into a standing position. I want you to drop down on the other side. Take it nice and slow with control. I feel like there's a mosquito. My leg is suddenly very itchy. And then once you're low, come on up. Ah, boom. That is 10. Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, and a Cossack squat to wrap things up. My knee is suddenly really itchy. I'm sure the cameras on those phones don't have enough quality to see if a mosquito bit me while we were doing the stretches, but I'm going to try my best not to scratch. All right, that is our 4 warm-up exercises. We're ready to move on into some of our stretches. All right. If you're new to the show and that sentence scared you, you're like, whoa, that's the warm-up, what the heck? Don't worry about it. This is a side splits and hip mobility show. We do a little bit of training every single day to work on our hips, to work on some advanced hip mobility, aka side splits, and we do this every day to practice a little bit of consistency. All right. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, you like the idea of working on consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back because we do this every single day at 9 p.m. Okay. Any tips for dipping below the level of my knee on Cossack switches? If you want to get lower, you probably just need to build strength. All right. If you can't get any lower, You're probably maxing out in some of the muscles that are keeping you stable. And you got a couple of options to get yourself lower. It can happen at the hips. It can happen when you have more strength in your quads and you can relax a little deeper into your squat. If you can basically squat down like this and tuck your knees to your chest, chances are you'll also be able to drop your hips a little bit lower. One of the things you might want to experiment with is how wide you have your knees pointing out to the side. That might all help. So a little bit extra mobility, a little bit extra strength, a little opening up the hips. Run a couple of those tests, and if one of those help you, then great. All right, we're gonna move on into our first stretch. First stretch that we're gonna do is a hamstring stretch. I want you to go grab a little bit of padding to pad your knee because one knee, one knee is always gonna be down on the ground. We're going to work on getting into a nice straight and tall position while kneeling, like so. Hips on top of the knees, shoulders on top of the hips, head is above the shoulders. Nothing super bent, nothing super arched, nothing super crazy like this. And we're going to extend one leg out. When you can maintain this nice straight line and have that leg out in front of you, we're going to fold. We're going to bring our belly buttons down to our thighs. All right? Inhale, exhale, and fold. Woo! When you can't fold any further, your muscles are going, whoa, that's crazy. We're going to breathe. Inhale, exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. All right? Chill, relax. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. That's 2. We're going to do that again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. From here, we're going to add some knee bending. All right? We're going to bring the knee up. We're going to try and fold our upper bodies down to touch that thigh the best that we can. If you cannot touch it all the way down, that's okay. Just try our best. All right? From here, we're going to put our hands down on the floor for support, for balance. We're going to try to slowly straighten out that leg and keep trying to fold forward. All right? We're going to do 5 of these. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. If you realize you don't need to lift your knee as high up to get your chest to come down to touch it, great. Don't do that. Keep on trying to drop a little bit lower. And finally, last time, straighten out that leg. That's 5. From here, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to inhale, exhale, and fold. And on the inhale, we're going to take a huge breath into our lungs. On the exhale, we're going to slowly exhale. And while we're exhaling, we're going to fold, 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 fold. We're going to bring the belly button down towards the ground. All right, let's go. Inhale, big breath in. If the standing heel needs to be flat. In the Cossack switch? Preferably because that will help you balance. But in general, if you're able to balance, it's not that important. Cool? All right, continuing. Here in the hamstring stretch, we're folding down. Down, 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 down. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Exhale, 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 exhale. Fold, 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 fold. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Fold, 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 fold. Whew. All right. From here, we're folding a lot deeper. You're feeling that crazy hamstring stretch. We're going to inhale, relax. Inhale. Let your body flop over that leg. Again, inhale. Let your body flop over that leg. Again, inhale. Let your body flop over that leg. And then we're going to knee bend, chest down, straighten it out again, right? Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. That's 1. Knee, chest, straighten. You don't have to go fast. These are definitely not supposed to be explosive. Take your time. Really focus on folding forward and staying as low as you can. And let's go. Last one, number 5. Now that you are much deeper into your stretch, we're going to inhale, exhale, fold one last time. All right. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo! Oh man, I just got a huge cramp. Abs are cramping up real hard. If you're at home, just ignore me and keep on trying to inhale, relax. Inhale, let your body flop over that leg. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Going for a third inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. And we're going to knee bend again, all right? Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. You should be noticing that you don't have to bend the knee as much to straighten out your leg. That is great. That's what we want. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. That's 5. And we're ready to hold for 30 seconds. That's it. That's everything. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch on one side. I'm going to take a second to let my abs stretch out. But in the meantime, I'd like you to switch your knees, get back into this kneeling position so that you're nice and straight and tall. Extend one leg out in front and get ready to fold your belly button down into that leg. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Inhale. Exhale and fold, 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 fold. As soon as you get stuck, we're ready to breathe. We're ready to relax. Inhale. Exhale, your body flop over that leg. Whew. Let's do it again. Inhale. Relax. Whew. That's 2. Keep on going. Inhale. Relax. Ooh, that is 3. Now we're going to do the knee bend, chest down, and straighten. All right. Knee bend, knee up, chest down, straighten. Whew, that's 1. Knee up, chest down, straighten. You should notice that maybe one leg is a little bit more flexible than the other. That's very, very, very common. And so just try your best on each leg. All right. Whew, that is 5. Let's get ready to go a little bit deeper. We're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold. Ready? Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo, sink a little deeper into your stretch. And let's go. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. 3rd time's the charm. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 1. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 2. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 3. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. We're gonna go a little deeper. Inhale, exhale, relax. Let's go. Last round. Inhale, exhale, relax, and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Whew. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. 3rd time's the charm. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper. And last time, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 2. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 3. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep on trying to fold forward. Maybe inhale, relax a bunch of times if you want. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Hopefully, you're realizing how much deeper you can actually fold, how much deeper into your hamstring stretch you can get if you give yourself a little bit of time, if you give yourself a little movement, if you give yourself some time to breathe. All right, we're going to move on into our second stretch. It's called the butterfly stretch. My floor is a little slippery, so I'm going to sit on top of this yoga mat, and it's going to give me a little bit more traction to work on this stretch. If you are at home and you have no idea whether or not it's slippery or not on your floor, don't worry about it. Just move your butt, your low back, your shoulders up against a wall. All right? I want your low back, your butt, your shoulders, your head, everything up against the wall. That straight alignment is going to make it much easier for you to focus on stretching out the legs. The goal of the butterfly stretch is to stretch out the inside of your thighs, your groin-ish area. All right? And the way we do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground. I want you to use your glute muscles. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to pull your knees down into the ground using your own muscles so that you build strength, you build some mobility all at the same time. Control at the end of the day is what we want. All right. Next, we're going to take our hands. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure on the inside of the thighs, inside of the knees. We're going to push straight down the best that we can. All right. If you feel a whole bunch of stretch and it's uncomfortable, that's normal. If you're feeling a whole bunch of sharp pain and it's like, oh, like you just got stung by a bee, that's a little too much, all right? Tone it down, relax a little bit. We're going to hold this position for about 30 seconds. Every time you exhale, every time you breathe out, I want you to push your legs down a little bit deeper if it does not hurt. All right? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Take some big breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Push your legs down. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, that's it. Let your legs go. Relax your wrists. Shake them out a little bit. Give them a nice gentle floppity flap, flop, floppity flap. Shake them out. Let them relax. And then do the same for your legs. Flap the wings of your butterfly in this butterfly stretch. Lift them up. Have them come down. Flap, 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 flap. Once your hips are moving a little bit better, we're going to move on into our third stretch. It's called the standing pancake. If you're a regular on this show and you know you prefer a version of the seated pancake, feel free to jump into that. But if you're brand new to the show, I'm going to show you the standing pancake, and we will work on that one. All right. If you have a little bit less balance, you might also want to try the seated pancake. So I'm going to talk about it real quick. If you want to do the seated pancake, just sit on something that's stable, that won't slide out from underneath you. Make sure your feet are nice and secured and they won't go sliding out into crazy places. And we're going to fold our belly buttons down into the ground, like so. All right. I'm going to talk more about folding in a sec, but if you want to do a seated pancake, just sit on something rather high to let gravity pull you down into the ground a little bit more. All right. Standing pancake. Let's talk about it. I want you to open up your legs a bit. Doesn't have to be crazy. If you can get to 30, 45-ish degrees, that'd be amazing. All right. From here, from the side, it's going to look like this. We're going to fold at the hips. We're going to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. Ta-da! When you're in this position, gravity is pulling your whole upper body into the ground, and that is what we want because it's going to make the stretch a little bit easier for us to do. If you want to make this harder, you can extend your arms past your ears so that your biceps are by your ears, and next time you exhale, you should get pulled down a little deeper into your stretch. If that's not enough for you, you're feeling like a maniac, feel free to hold something in your hands and let that pull you down. All right? Next, we can widen our stance a little bit to get a deeper stretch in the inner thighs. You can stick your butt back a little bit, and that's just going to make things a little bit harder. All right? Those are your options. If you're doing the seated pancake, you can also extend your arms. You can also fold forward in the exact same way. Cool? All right. The goal here is to bring your belly button as close to the ground as possible. All right? Belly button down, 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 down. Take a couple of seconds to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. Butt back, arms up. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down. That is our pancake. All right. If you're feeling a whole bunch of tension in your inner thighs right now because you put your legs out real wide, walk your toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in until your feet are back together. I'm going to fix this carpet real quick and slowly come back up into standing. That is our third stretch. That is the standing pancake. All right. We're ready to move on to our fourth stretch. You got the option between the pigeon and or the figure four stretch. If you're a regular, hop into whichever one you prefer. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure we did. Oh, actually, I can't remember what we did yesterday. Did we do the figure four yesterday? I feel like we did the figure four yesterday. So we're gonna do pigeon today. All right. And they both look a little bit like this. We're taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side, we're lifting that leg up towards our belly button, we're bringing the belly button down towards that leg, and we're going to feel a stretch out here in the side of the hip. This is a glute muscle, all right? You're also going to feel probably a little bit here in the hamstrings, and possibly a bit right here where you're actually doing that folding, all right? For the pigeon, all we gotta do is take this position and replicate it on the floor. Come on down. Boom. You don't have to sit down with the technique I just did. You can sit on the floor and then you can just bring your leg in front of you. All right. Once it's in front of you, I want you to focus on this middle line, down your eyes, down your mouth to your belly button. All right. I want you to find a midpoint between your knee and your ankle bone, somewhere like right around here. I want you to fold your body down to that midpoint, and that is our pigeon stretch. Fold, 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 fold some more, keep folding. Oof, feel that stretch in your hamstrings, in your glutes, and that is a pigeon. That's a perfectly good version for you to start with, all right? If you want, you can have this other leg extended straight out to the side. You might find it more comfortable to bend the leg and just have it tucked off to the side next to you. If you've done some yoga, you might find that none of those are pigeon stretches. You're supposed to stick the leg back behind you. And if you feel that way, that's okay. Feel free to do that as well. These are all optional, all right? When you extend this leg back, you're going to put yourself into a big stretched position right here in the front of the hip. And depending on what you got underneath you, your knee is going to be smashing into the ground. If this is uncomfortable for you and you still want to work on it, here are a couple of things you can do. You can lean forward a little bit, and that will take some pressure off the hip, that will take some pressure off the knee. Alternatively, you can elevate that front leg. Unless you are insanely flexible already, when you elevate that front leg, your hips are going to come slightly higher off the ground. All right? When your hips come higher off the ground, you're going to have way more room underneath you for this leg to go back behind you. And that is basically how we're setting up the pigeon so that you can stretch out this leg a little bit more effectively. All right. It does not have to be this type of thing that you use to elevate your legs. If you have an ottoman, you got a coffee table, you got a couch, you got a bed, feel free to use that to elevate your front leg to get you into a deeper stretch for this back leg. All right. Now that you know way too much about the pigeon, let's get ready to go. Again, the leg is coming across the body. We're taking that middle line down our body, trying to aim for that midpoint between the knee and the ankle. We're folding forward. We're extending the leg back. That's optional. Try to keep your hips low to the ground and then fold down. Inhale. Exhale. All the air out of your lungs. Sink into the floor. Turn into jello. We're holding for 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Keep breathing. Keep on sinking into the floor. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon stretch. We're going to switch on over to the other side. Take that leg. We're going to cross it on over in front of the body. Extend this back leg back behind you if you want. Again, that's optional. We are folding, getting our hips low to the ground, and then bringing the belly button down. And we're going to sink into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Melt into the floor, sink into the floor. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. Keep breathing. Keep on exhaling and then dropping a little lower to the ground. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our fourth stretch. That is our pigeon stretch. All right. And this show has a total of 5 stretches. That means we got a 5th stretch, and that's all that's left. All right. If you're looking forward to wrapping up, great, because that's what's coming up right now. Our 5th stretch, however, is a little bit different from the rest of the show. We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. All right. And that means there's some suffering to come. But if you don't know what the show is all about yet, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of hip mobility and side splits work. We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit easier to do, a little more entertaining, and hopefully help us stay a little bit more consistent. All right. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, you like the idea of being a little bit more consistent because other people are here to keep you consistent, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe on whichever platform that you're on, and set an alarm, create a calendar event, and I'll see you soon. All right. We got some side splits. And if you don't care about side splits, you just want to work on some basic hip mobility, you don't need to do this. But side splits is just advanced hip mobility, and working towards them builds up some hip mobility along the way. All right, you don't have to have them because that's the point of the show. I don't have them, and I do this every day. All right, first thing I want you to do is grab a little something to support your hands. All right, I got two really thick, sturdy yoga blocks. If you want, you can use a stool. You can use a stack of textbooks. You can use an ottoman. You can use a really durable box of some sort. You can use anything that you can put your weight on that is mobile enough that you can move around when you want to, but is stable enough that it won't just collapse and turn into a little ball of mush on the floor. All right. The reason why we need this, whatever it is that you're grabbing, is because we're going to get into a position that looks like this. We're doing some side splits, right? Our hands are going to be on this thing. We're going to call it hand support from now on. And we're going to be trying to get a little bit lower to the ground. All right. So take a second, grab something you can use for hand support. Coffee table, ottoman, side table, if it's sturdy enough, yoga blocks, stack of textbooks. I'm trying to see just out of the corner of my eye if there's anything else that would probably work. I see a helmet. It's plausible, might work. If you have a chair and you want to use that, that would be perfectly fine. If you're new to this show, you might want to put your hands on the seat of the chair. If you're a little bit more advanced, you might want to drop down and put your elbows on the chair because the chair might be a little bit higher. All right. Hopefully, that's enough information to get you started. Hopefully, that's enough time for you to grab what you need because we're ready to go. All right. Come on up into standing, and I want you to put your butt up against the wall. Right up against the wall. Butt is touching. All right. From here, we're going to take a tiny little baby step forward. Tiny baby step. We're not taking big, huge steps. Tiny, tiny, tiny baby steps. And we're going to open up our legs a little bit. All right. Doesn't have to be crazy. Crazy stuff happens later. First, make sure you can wiggle your hips a little bit. There's no discomfort, there's no pain, there's no like weirdness. And if there is weirdness, bring your legs together. But otherwise, we're ready to fold. Bring that belly button down to your hand support. Boom. All right. We're in our starting position. See if you can open up your legs a little bit wider. If it gets uncomfortable, bring them back a little bit. They don't have to be uncomfortable yet. All right. From here, what we're going to do next is rotate our legs so that they go backwards about 90-ish degrees, right? Right now, your knees are kind of pointing forward, your toes are kind of pointing forward. We're going to rotate the legs so that, boom, the knees are pointing up, the toes are pointing up, and the heel is down. We're going to do this on both sides. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, I want you to let your butt touch the wall. Slowly slide down the wall. Let your feet go a little bit wider. Adjust your hand support. Adjust your positioning until you find a nice, comfortable position where you feel like you're in control, where you don't feel like you're about to slip. You don't feel like you're about to tip over. You don't feel like you're about to collapse. You feel like you're in a position where you could hang out here for a little bit. All right. That's the sensation I want you to feel. The reason for that is because if you feel like you're about to tip over, chances are your body is going to be flexing real hard. There's going to be a lot of tension in your muscles, keeping you from tipping over. And that tension is going to not allow you to relax, which is what we want to get deeper into our side split. All right. So once you've adjusted your hand position, you've adjusted your leg position, you've adjusted your butt position, you feel supported, you're feeling comfortable, we're going to get a little bit deeper. First thing we're going to do is breathe. Inhale, hold, exhale, relax. If you relax and sink a little deeper into the stretch, great. If this is your first time, you're like, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it. Just chill. All right. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. That's 3. If you want, these are completely optional. You can try and do a little wiggle. Push your right heel out, push your left heel out, push your right heel out, push your left heel out, so you can get just a tiny bit deeper. All right. Right now, your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, the top of your head is pointing up. You are in a deep side split position. We're hanging out for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you want, you can try and wiggle your heels out just a tiny bit. See if you can drop a little bit deeper as we count down. 19, 18, 17. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Push your hand support out of the way. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Make some space. Pull your legs in underneath you. Come on out of that stretch. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. That is our first side split. All right. Whew. All right. We just put a whole bunch of tension into our legs, into our hips. Now we're going to shake out some of that tension to help reset the body so we can get into an even deeper second side split. So when you're ready, come on up into standing and let's shake it out. Shake out the ankles. Flop it around, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. All right, do the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. The whole entire point of this shaking, this flopping, this wiggling is to let you see visually that your ankle is going crazy, going all over the place. All right. If your body was tense, your ankle wouldn't be flapping around. If your muscles were tense, they would stop you from being able to go and flop around. All right. That is what we're trying to prove to ourselves, that we're relaxed enough to continue by shaking out our legs. All right. You don't have to go 0 to 100 on the speed of the shake, on the range of the shake right away. Take your time, build up a little bit more range. Go, that's comfortable. Okay, I can keep going, and then try a little bit more. All right. Whew. Hopefully, you take a couple of steps. You're like, oh, hey, this isn't so bad. My legs are moving just fine, and we're gonna move on to our hips. All your weight is on one leg. Big toe is down on the other leg. We're gonna open up the hips. We're gonna flex the glute muscles right here, and we're gonna point this knee directly out to the side. Then we're gonna take couple of seconds to use this muscle here in the front of the hip to bring that knee all the way in so the knees are almost touching. All right. Then we're going to do the whole thing over. Open, in, open, in, open, close, open, in, out, in, out. And once you've done a couple of those, you worked on contracting those muscles, learning how to control them. We can pick up the tempo, we can pick up the pace. All right. Depending on where you are in this training journey, you can go a little bit faster, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more chill. And when you've got lots of control, you're just chilling, you're having a fun time. You can start shaking out that leg a little harder, a little faster, and go wiggle, 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 shake, 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 shake. And we're back into let's try our best to relax. All right. Let's do it again on the other side. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down on the other. When you're new to the show, really focus on building strength and control and range of motion. Really contract those muscles. Point your knee way out that way. Contract the muscles. Bring the knee in, almost touching. Do a couple of those. Really focus on that range of motion. And then when you've built up some strength, you've built up some control over a couple of episodes, over a couple of weeks, you can start going a little bit faster. Faster, 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 faster. And of course, you can just relax and let the leg shake out and flop and shake, 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 flop, 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 shake, 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 flop, 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 flop. If you have no strength in those muscles, there's not much to shake out, right? But when you have a whole bunch of strength in those muscles, then you want them to be loose, all right? And at the very least, you want to be able to have control over those muscles when you want it, all right? Hopefully, you are now loose. Do a couple of seconds of flopping, shaking, wiggling, and let's get ready for side split number 2. All right. Put your hand support in front of you and rest your butt up against the wall. Take a little step in front of that wall. Open up those legs. Put your hands on your hand support and let your butt slide down the wall as you open up your legs a little bit. All right. We're going to rotate the legs. Ready? Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Boom. Other side, heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Take a second. See if you can slip a little bit lower. Adjust your hand support. Make sure your butt is supporting you because it's touching the wall, and the wall is supporting you. Make sure your hands are supporting you because your blocks, your stool, your ottoman, your chair is directly underneath you, and you're able to get some support because your hands, your arms, your shoulders are carrying some of the weight, right? And finally, your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. They're carrying the rest of the burden. They're feeling the struggle of the stretch. From here, we're going to breathe. Inhale, hold, exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper into the stretch. Again, inhale, hold, exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's go. A third time. Inhale, hold, exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. At this point, if you sunk in a little bit deeper, you might have shifted out of a strong position where you feel comfortable relaxing. You might feel like you're about to slip. You might feel like you're about to fall. Take a second, adjust, find a comfortable position where you can almost relax in. All right. And now we're going to push the heels out again. Push a little to the right, push a little to the left. Again, these are optional. You don't have to push if you don't want to. Right, left, right, left, and we're getting to side split number 2. You can stay in this position just like we did the first round, but there's another version of the side split that I want you to focus on as well. You should share the time. All right. I want you to put your hands in front of you just a little bit so you look like you're about to do a push-up. All right. When you bring your body forward a little bit, your knees and your toes are going to start pointing forward at a 45-ish degree angle. That's what we want. If you're still on your hand support, you can still make the knees and the toes point at a diagonal in front of you at a 45-ish degree angle. All right. And the reason why we want this is because there's going to be more emphasis on the stretch in the inner thigh. That's what we want. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you feel like the stretch isn't intense enough for you, bend your elbows. That'll put more weight into your legs, and all of a sudden your legs are going to cry. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward a little bit. Bring your knees in underneath you. Oh, and that is our second side split. We got one last round. Grunt, groan, make some sound effects as you come out of that position. And let's get ready to come on up into standing. Let's check out those ankles. All right. Take a step forward. Shake out the ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake some more. Shake, 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 shake. Other side. Shake, 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 shake some more. Shake, 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 shake. Remember, you can start nice and gentle. And you can pick up the intensity as you find it comfortable for you. All right. And the goal is to relax the muscles. When your body is flopping all over the place, going crazy, swinging, flopping, all those things, those muscles have to be pretty relaxed to let you do those things. All right. Otherwise, if you were all tense, you would be moving around like a robot. You'd look like this. All right. And that would not be right. So let's get ready. Take a couple of steps, do a couple of dance moves, have a little bit of fun with the mobility that you're building, and let's move on to our hips. All your weight is on one leg, big toe is down. Take your time, build up that strength, build up control. But if you've already done a little bit of that groundwork, you can go a little bit faster. In and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Other side, all your weight is in one leg, big toe is down on the other. In and out and in and out and in and out and in and out, in and out. Shake out the legs, do a little dance, do a little wiggle, do a flop, do a little shake. I'm a big believer in making the fitness fun. All right. One of the ways you can make mobility work a little bit more fun is to use it. If you want, for example, in this movement, if you drop into a slight bend in this knee, then you pull that leg in with some sass, you got some stanky leg, all right? Just pull it in, switch to the other side, boom, 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 boom. And please have fun with the mobility that you're building. Challenge yourself, learn something new. It's really good for your brain and for your body, all right? Whew, hopefully you're cooled off now. You're a little bit looser. You're ready for the third round of side splits so we can wrap this up. Third round of side splits. Let's do it. Hand support in front of you. Butt up against the wall. Take half of a step, a baby step in front of that wall. Open up those legs. Put your hands on your hand support. Fold yourself down and find that comfortable position. 2, rotate your legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Widen that leg position. Slide those heels across the floor, adjust your hand support, move your butt along the wall until you find a position where you feel almost comfortable resting in a little bit, all right? You don't feel like you're about to slip, you don't feel like you're about to lose balance, you don't feel like you're about to tip over, and we're going to breathe. Inhale, Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. Little tiny wiggles. Right, left, right, left. These are optional. You don't have to do them. And we're ready for our third and final side split. You got the option. You can stay here in this position where your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, your hands are on your hand support, your head is up. That's side split version 1. You can do the second version where we shifted our weight forward a little bit. The knees and the toes are kind of pointing up at a 45-degree angle. You're going to feel it more in your inner thighs. Whichever version you're picking, go ahead, get ready to go, and let's do it. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. I'm doing a slightly different version, but don't worry about me. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Put your hands down. Pull your legs in underneath you. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. That is our third and final side split. Hopefully, you were able to stay in yours the whole time and not to have to fumble around because it was too intense for you. And that's all the hard stuff in our show. It's time to get up. We're going to shake out our bodies one more time, our ankles, our hips. We're going to do some quick joint checks, and then we'll be done, ready to wrap up. I'll look at the chat, respond to some questions as they came in, and we'll be ready to wrap. All right? Slowly come back up into a standing. Again, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. All right? Makes everything feel a little easier when you grunt. Next, we're going to shake out our ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Remember, the goal is relaxation, right? It's not to shake so hard you injure yourself. The goal is to prove to your body that you're floppy, you're loose, you're relaxed. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And whew, other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. You can start nice and gentle. You can pick up the intensity as you go. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And whew, take a couple of steps. Do a little dance. Do a couple of little jumping jacks. Make sure your legs are working good. And let's move on into our hips. All your weight in one leg. Big toe is down, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. All your weight in one leg. Big toe is down in the other. In and out. In, out, in, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And whew, shake out the legs one last time. Give it a good old flop. Let the muscles relax. And let's get into some joint checks. All right. I want you to real slow do some hip circles. Really lean into some crazy angles. Feel the stretch on those muscles that are probably really tight in your hips right now because of the side splits and all the other stuff that we've been doing today. Come on through that hip circle, nice and slow. Feel that pressure as you come on around. If everything feels real easy for you, then no big deal. Just do a couple in one direction, swap on over, come on back the other direction. If this feels crazy for you, you're like, whoa, what's going on with my hip? And then you should probably just hang out in that stretch for a little bit longer. Give it some love, give it some extra time, let your muscles slowly relax, and that is a couple of deep hip circles. Next, we're going to move on into our final move. We're going to do some calf raises from a squatting position. It's going to put us in a really challenging position. It's going to get a whole bunch of different muscles and joints to work together to make sure that they're all doing pretty good. All right. So our final move looks a little like this. I want you to bring your feet about hips width apart. I want you to pop into a squat like this. All right. From the side, it's going to look a little like this. We're folding our bodies. We're trying to get the whole entire head and torso sort of falling off in that direction. We're going to take our knees. We're going to try and push them that away as well. When you do this, you're going to get a nice stretch in your Achilles tendon, in your calves, and your knees are going that way, your head is going that way. It's going to feel like you're about to tip over. That is what we want. We want you to feel like you're tipping over because that's going to force your toes to kick in to grip the floor to hold you a little bit more stable. All right. It's going to make the arch of your foot work a little harder to keep your foot stable. And from here, we're going to do some calf raises. Put your hands down for a little bit of support. If you can't reach the floor, feel free to grab onto something else. And I want you to slowly lift those heels and come on down. Heel up and down. Heel up and down. Try to center your weight so it's in between your big toe and your index toe. That is going to help you go straight up and down. If you try to spread it across all your toes, your legs are more likely to open out to the side like this. All right. So big toe, index toe, boom, boom. And once you're ready to call it quits, your calves are fried. We're ready to move on. If you were able to do most of that, your calves, your toes, the arch of your foot, your knees, your ankles, your hips, your quads, your low back, they're all working pretty well together to help you get through some of that movement. All right. If you're ready to wrap, then I am too. If you were able to do most of that movement, you're probably fine to go back to whatever do you have to do for the rest of the evening. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. We are ready to wrap. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope this is a nice way to help let you cool off. Not really cool off, get warmed up, but then hopefully now you're cooling off and get ready for bed if that's in the cards for you. All right. And oh, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to take a look at the chat and I'm going to tell you about all the other things that I do so that you can make sure to doubly hit follow and hit subscribe. And what do I need to tell you about? Most of the time, most of the content that I make is not about the side splits. The live is a daily show. But the rest of the short form content that you might find when you're doom scrolling, that is about adding a little bit of movement into your life. All right. If you got 2 minutes waiting for your coffee to come out the machine, you got 2 minutes waiting for something to heat up in the microwave. I think I just saw the mosquito that's been biting me. And if you got a couple of minutes waiting for your pasta to soften into something edible, then you got plenty of time to get a little bit of movement here. All right. You don't have to do something crazy. If you're just standing there waiting for the machine to dispense some coffee fluid, you can do some calf raises. Right? You maybe can hold the counter and step back, do some lunges, right? Maybe you want to do some assisted squats. Maybe you're feeling real strong, you want to do some assisted one-legged squats, right? You got lots and lots and lots of things that you can do without ever leaving, the 3 foot square area that you're making whatever it is that you're making in front. Preferably don't be touching hot things while you're doing your exercises. So stay away from the stove if possible. So get away from the pasta pot if that's that's when you're doing your 8 minutes of exercises. But if you can do 2 minutes of calf raises nonstop, it's probably like 120 calf raises. That would be a crazy number of calf raises. If you could do 2 minutes nonstop of squats, be a ton of squats. If you could do anything for 2 minutes straight, it'd be a crap ton, right? So don't sleep on those 2 minutes. They do matter. They do count. And if you were going to doom scroll anyway, I hope you've hit follow. I hope you've hit subscribe so you can doom scroll into my content so I can be a nice, healthy, gentle, warm reminder that you can do a little bit of exercise with that time, right? And it's not just about exercise. It's not just about getting your heart rate up and all the other good things that exercise does for you. It's about your joints. It's about taking care of your body. Your knees, your ankles, your joints, they don't have blood vessels to send nutrients to them like our muscles do, all right? They take a lot more time to recover. They take a lot more time to heal. So you got to move them. And the reason why you got to move them is because their mechanism for getting nutrients, for clearing waste, is called synovial fluid. It's literally a goopy thing in your joints. That goopy thing only moves and moves around when you use your joints. You don't have to, if your knee hurts, you don't have to go jumping up and down to get your synovial fluid moving. Some movement will get it flowing, and that is going to make a huge difference in how well your knees recover over time. All right. So don't sleep on the movement. Take care of your joints, take care of your body, and I hope you hit follow and subscribe so you can get a nice healthy reminder when you're doing scrolling. All right. All right, let's see how we doing on time. Oh man, it's just about 1 hour into the show. I'm gonna scroll and take a look at the chat, and if there are any questions that I can answer, I'm gonna answer right away, and then you guys can go on your way. If it's a long question, I'm gonna ask if you are still here, so I can, invest the time answering. If you're not here, then I might skip it for next time. Cool? All right. Enough rambling. Let me check it out. CJ says, amazing. Thank you over on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And CJ asked, hi, how often and what times will you be doing your future lives? Would love to join, but it's 3 a.m. where I am right now. That is crazy. Are you up for the World Cup or something? Why are you up at 3 a.m.? You should definitely go to bed. All of these videos are recorded and posted onto YouTube. That question came in from YouTube. So you can watch any of the old videos. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these recorded and stored over on YouTube. The username is splits on the side for everybody on TikTok watching over here on this device. And just watch a replay. Don't stay up for 3 a.m. to watch this show. But it is at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which I assume is 2 a.m. your time that we start. And on the weekends, we do a 9 a.m. Eastern show, which, today we did a 9 a.m. Eastern show and a 9 p.m. Eastern show. This is 9 p.m. So 12 hours ago, we had another show. So if you want to join in for the morning sesh, my morning, your afternoon sesh, it would be 2 p.m. on the weekends for you that we have a slightly different life. It's more about back posture and waking up a little bit. So it's a little bit different than the side splits. But if you like the side splits, make sure to just check out the streams on the YouTube account. Cool? All right. I think that is. Oh, no, I'm so wrong. I'm scrolling back. Did I get it? Oh, I got it. It was like a little fruit fly. Man, Jax says hello, sending awesome emojis. Thank you for the support. Neko Panda is watching a World Cup match. We had somebody who else was here at 3 a.m. and is here because it's Mexico versus England. Love it. Awesome. I hear it on the TV on the other side of the room, so I'm going back to that too. And Keisha was here and says, good evening, Side Splits crew. Good evening, Keisha. Welcome back. All right. I think that is everything. I'm gonna scroll over on TikTok and see how things are going. Luigi says, thanks, Ken. Great workout. Thanks, Luigi. Thank you for coming back. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. In Van Conses sends smileys and sent a heart me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else we got? Ange says, thank you. Cutie Pie says, great stretch. Thank you. Che sending emojis. Debbie says, thank you. Lois says, thank you. Dwayne says, thank you, Ken. I'm glad I caught your evening show. Amazing. I'm glad you made it. Lois says, I was late, but I did one set. Amazing. Good. We're practicing the skill of consistency. You don't have to be consistent for the whole entire thing, but showing up counts. Every time you show up, every time you do a little bit of something, it's a little magic check mark in the back of your head that helps remind you that you can stay consistent. You got the power, and you can go crush all the cool things you want to do. Doesn't have to be this live show. Could be anything you want. Janelle says, I tripped in a howl and twisted my ankle. No, I'm sorry. Are you feeling better? Was it just like one of those quick rolls where after a couple minutes you feel better, or is it like it's bad? Because I think it might be worthwhile for me to say, hold on to something while you shake out your ankle. And I think that's the only context where that might have been something that happened. Let me know. All right. Uh, Hello Vusku says, I always feel stiff. That is completely normal. All right. And this live isn't necessarily going to fix it 100%. If you want to feel loose, you might want to look into something called dynamic stretching. And it looks a little bit more like kicking really high, flopping your limbs all over the place, and doing like relatively rapid movement. When you do that type of stretching, dynamic stretching, it helps to reset your brain and helps to reset your movement so you can move a little bit better. So, as a general thing for most people, if you do some dynamic stretching to start your day in the morning, even if it's 5, 10 minutes, you kick your legs forward and back and side to side, get your legs moving a little bit. That is going to go a long way for helping you to move smoother, move better throughout the day because you're resetting your brain and what it thinks is your available range of motion. And that should work really well. That's all I got. Moving on. True Blue says, evening, everyone. Welcome back, True Blue. Dwayne says, thank you, Ken. I'm so glad I'm here. This is just where I need it. I learned so much. Thank you, Dwayne. That's so kind and lovely. All right. Che is here sending awesome emojis. Travel with Roxy is telling people about the YouTube channel. Jimmy says, do you do any upper body work? How about push-ups? We do not do upper body work because most people know how to do push-ups. And it's covered quite often on the internet, so I don't feel like you need me to do push-ups. You got push-ups all on your own. 808 Justin Nguyen says nice stretch. Hey, thanks. Luigi sends some thumbs up. Cutie Pie says thank you. Dwayne says howdy from Wyoming. Ken and friends, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I'm going to see what else we got. Vicky says I'll be back to join tomorrow. Thank you, lovely. Um, that user 2625 asks, what kind of training is this? Is it beginner friendly? It should be beginner friendly because I've been doing basically the same 5 stretches and the same 3 or 4 warm-up exercises since I was much, 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 much worse at these stretches and at these movements. So I try my best to make sure all of my directions are very, very, very close to the same directions I used when I was building up from the more beginner versions of those stretches. All right. When I say beginner versions of those stretches, I just mean I don't fold nearly as far forward as before. So that is that means the instructions that I give should apply to you no matter where you are in your foldy, flexy, slidey journey. All right. But what it looks like when you do it versus what it looks like when I do it is probably going to be very different because I've been doing this show basically live for hundreds of days at this point, like 500 days, I think. And that is an unfair advantage that I got compared to you. So yours shouldn't look like mine unless you're already super flexible, and then in which case you might be much deeper than I am anyway. So yours shouldn't look like mine. And if you're a beginner, don't worry about it because most of the instructions should apply no matter what level of flexibility you got. Cool? But if something feels wrong, feels like I didn't explain thoroughly enough, feel free to drop it into the chat and ask the question, and I'll try my best to, at the end of the show at least, come back, take a look, and address those questions for you. All right, I'm gonna keep scrolling up, see what else we got. Um, Angeles says in Spanish. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish nearly well enough to run this show in Spanish. I don't think I speak any language well enough to run this show in any language other than English. All right, I think we've gone through all of the chat. Jax over on YouTube has sent some more fun emojis. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. We're ready to wrap. Oh, yes, Debbie. Oh, the cat just came, looked for pets. I ignored her and she left. I don't know if you saw the tail leave just now, but she wanted some attention. She wanted some love, and I did not give it to her, which worked in my favor because I'm slightly allergic. This is my friend's cat. So I'm fine interacting with the cat. Just if I pet her or she licks my hand and then I touch my face starts swelling up, and that's bad. So I have to be very cautious of what my hands do. And my legs are already super itchy because I think there's a mosquito in the room that I have not found or killed, and I can't hear it because I got earbuds in both ears, so I can't even react to it as well as I normally would. And so I'm itchy all over, and I don't know if that's cats or if that's the mosquito, and now I'm confused. Anyways, that's way too much rambling about nonsense. I hope you guys had fun. I hope since we've been done for about 10 minutes, you've cooled off. You're feeling a little bit more chill, feeling good, moving well, feeling like you got some extra mobility in the spine from the thoracic rotation, got some extra mobility in your legs from all of the hip stuff that we've done today. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend because that's it. That's all we got. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back because we do this every single night starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you don't know what Eastern Time is and you're like 9 p.m., huh? What's that? We started an hour and 8 minutes ago. All right? Whatever the time that is, that's when we go. Every day of the week, Monday through Sunday. We even did it on July 4th. We did it yesterday. So expect that I'll be here working on some side splits, working on some hip mobility, trying to bring good vibes so that we can get through the suffering that we keep on putting ourselves through and make a little bit of progress. All right. Miss Terry says thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for commenting in the chat, trying to keep the vibes positive because that makes everything a little bit lighter, a little bit easier for people to enjoy the time that they spend here and help me enjoy the time that I spend here. Debbie says, you are a lot of fun. I definitely try because if this was just suffering on the floor doing exercises, it would be a lot more brutal, and I don't like that either. All right, I'm ready to wrap up. There's only a handful of you left, so I'm calling it here. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Hit follow his